Еще не время, чуть позже я дам тебе, дам тебе, дам тебе знак. Послушай меня, еще не время.
Hi everybody, it's Lisa from Lisa's Paper Passion. I was playing some of Natasha's music in the background. I'm having trouble doing videos with both pictures and sound, and it's just the way my new phone is set up, so I have to figure all that out. But until then, I wanted to share with you the guest design team project that I did for Natasha's Scrapbook Corner. If you missed the video of what she sent me, I will put a link to it. She sent me a huge package of goodies, and I wanted to start creating with it because I'm looking for one of the things in there. Because of the napkins she sent me. These were the napkins, and I love them. I don't know how somebody could use this as a napkin. It has to be created with, and that's what I did. So what you're looking at in front of you is my guest design team project for Natasha for the month of December. And what I wanted to do was work with the napkin as much as possible. And I wanted to make this kind of Tilda-inspired, shabby, altered jar. And there's a little string that I have to cut because it's bothering me. So let me cut that real quick. So what I did is I took a jar, and it's a little, like a mason jar, although it's not like an official true mason jar, but it's the ones that they sell at the Dollar Tree, and they're not that big. I didn't want anything too big. They're about a little bit more than 5 inches tall, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with these napkins. First, I thought of making a pin cushion. Then I thought of Mod Podging it and making it into like a fabric. So then I was looking around my room. You know, sometimes when we're cleaning up, we find stuff. And I found this jar that I bought when all of us were making those altered Tilda-inspired jars in my group. So I said, I'm going to alter this jar, and I'm going to use these napkins. So what I did was, it wasn't hard at all. And I don't normally work with napkins, but having worked with a few projects before, and with this Mod Podge, I didn't really want, I wanted it, this is the look I wanted it, and it came out exactly how I wanted it, like a frosted jar. And the way I got this effect, I'm not going to do a tutorial on it, but it's fairly easy. See how this napkin has 2 layers? And I'm trying to, of course, do this, and I don't really have nails, and my hands are all dirty from working this project. Sorry, I had to lick my finger trying to... Anyway, this napkin, what I did is I cut it into 4 pieces, so I had 4 panels to work with. And I knew that I was going to have some parts that were, weren't totally covered, which is the look that I wanted. I didn't want a perfect look. And while I'm talking, I'm trying to split this napkin in half. This does... Oh, here. I think I found the spot where you can kind of split it. So what you want to do if you want this effect is you want the top layer of the napkin only. And I swear it's really not this hard. Let me just cut off a tip of it. Sometimes they kind of seal it at the end. What you want, like I said, is just the top layer of the napkin because it's more translucent. And of course, for the life of me, I can't do it right now because I want to show it to you. I think I got it. Okay, I guess it's not going to cooperate. Gosh. Oh, just here it is. Okay, yay, got it. Okay, so once you find that little wedge to open it, it works just fine. So this is what you're left with, and it's really pretty and translucent, and you really don't need this part of it for the jar. Now for the top part where I made the little pin cushion, I did leave it on because I used the styrofoam ball underneath, and I really wanted the thickness of both layers of the napkin to be on top. But for the bottom, for the jar, all I did was, like I said, cut this in 4 different panels, this part. I just realized that part of this wasn't on camera. And then I used 2 squares to wrap around the jar. And what I did is I just took some Mod Podge. I didn't water it down or anything. Actually, I didn't use, let me see, did I use Mod Podge this time? I'm trying to remember. Because I also bought, yeah, I think I used this one, but it's the same. I got this from Tuesday Morning. It was really cheap. It's the Aleene's Glossy Decoupage, but it works exactly the same way as this Mod Podge that I got from the Dollar Tree, which also Michael's has in the bigger containers. If you like this look, the way I did it, get the glossy kind. If you want a more of a matted look, then of course get the matted kind. But I use the glossy decoupage material, media, whatever they call it. So what I did is I just took a foam brush and I put the Mod Podge on the jar, directly on the jar, and then I took the napkin and then I laid it on top of the jar, and gently, you want to do it very slow and gently, that way it doesn't tear. Some parts of it did tear while I was doing it, but for the most part it didn't. But again, for the look I wanted a shabby look, and I didn't care if it tore certain parts of it. So then I just brushed it, and then whatever was extra, because of course, you know, these panels are bigger, I didn't cut off. And what I did instead is I just kind of, you know, when this is wet, it's more pliable, and I just kind of brushed it so that it laid gently and neatly over. And then what you want to do is dry this overnight. And the way you want to dry it overnight is, of course, since it's Mod Podge everywhere. Let me take this part off for a second. I just dried it upside down. And then I did that yesterday, and by this morning, it was all done and ready to go. And you can kind of tell the parts that are not done. If you see any type of, like, you know, of course, sticky white substance, and that's the decoupage and it's not dry. I tried to kind of rush it using my heat gun, but that didn't work. Oh, I'll have the jar right here, and not to turn it upside down again. This is from Natasha's Scrapbook Corner also. It's this beautiful tag that's in French. And then I'm going to write handmade by Lisa on the bottom. That way, whoever I'm giving it to know that it's from me. And I really like the glittery look. So what I did is in my little mini salt container that I also got from the Dollar Tree, I think, I just sprinkled glitter all over it. And that way, as it dried, I still kind of sometimes get glitter on my fingers when I touch it, but eventually it'll settle in. And I love how it came out. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out because I've never really done a napkin on a clear jar. I've used a napkin on other things, but not a jar. And I'm very, very happy how it came out. It looks very vintagey and exactly how I wanted it to look. So, Natasha, when you're watching this, I hope you like it. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid back on. I did seal the lid. It does come, even if it's not like a true mason jar, it does come with, oh gosh, I'm already at the 8-minute mark. I talk so much. So I did seal it so the sealer doesn't come off. And then what I did is she sent me a bunch of trims. And I did use some. See, some of my stickles is coming off in the flowers. It's okay. Like I said, this is hot off my craft room. Okay, so what else did I do? Okay, so I put some green Prima trim that I had around the edge of the bottle. And on the lid, I also did put napkin on it because I really wasn't sure what I was going to do on top. I wasn't sure if I was going to do like a full-on pin cushion on top. So I did cover the lid, and you probably can't see it, but that's okay. Sometimes as you're creating and doing extra steps, you're not sure what, like a painting, you're not quite sure how it's going to turn out. So you want to make it beautiful every step of the way. She sent me these flowers, which match perfectly with the napkins. And all I did is I took some Prima chalk ink, and let me see if I can find the color that I used. Oh, here it is. It's called Garden Grass, and I love these. All I did was just literally, like what I'm doing now, is just go over the petals of the flower because they were like really pink, but I wanted it to match with the green. So I wanted to kind of have a theme of white, pink, green, that kind of theme going on. So that's why I did that to the flowers. I mean, you can leave them plain if you want to, but I wanted to put some green on there to make it more vintagey. And then these little flowers are just some flowers from my stash. And I mean, I could have left it alone and just, had the peeking napkin piece in the background, but I don't know. Sometimes I think as I'm creating, I don't like empty spaces, and they're not, too overwhelming. So the top of it, as I mentioned previously, I just left the napkin as it was and just took a styrofoam ball and literally wrapped it around the napkin, glue gunned the bottom to the lid. And then Natasha had sent me a really pretty tulle flower. Let me show you what the other one looks like. And I wanted to use it on my project. It looked exactly like this, but it was, it's this color. This is what it was. But I didn't really find a place I wanted to use it, so I decided why not use it to cover the napkin folded part. So I used it as that. I just took it apart. It was very simple. And then so I used it as my base to cover the napkin part that wasn't so neat looking. And then I started making this little dangly ribbon part, and I decided to cut up the tulle flower to make it more shabby looking. So that's what you see here. And then as I hold this up, she sent me a lot of little pearl goodies, which I tried to use everything she sent me, because when Natasha sends you something for the design team project, she sends you a lot of stuff. So I used it. And I love how it came out, because the ribbon before I put that stuff on was kind of sticking this way, and I didn't really like that effect. But as you put the goodies on, your seam binding, your ribbon, it just kind of makes it hang down a little bit, and it weighs it down. That's what I'm trying to say. And then this sequence, lovely here, was just beautiful. I didn't want to use too much of it because I wanted to kind of the pastel-y, shabby chic look so for right now it's kind of hanging on the side like this, just to kind of add a touch to it. And I do need to seal the edges because otherwise the sequence will fall out. Let's see, did I miss anything? Oh, the other thing, she does have stick pins, and I believe the ones she sent me, Natasha, correct me if I'm wrong, was this pearl one, this pink one, and this blue one, and I added it in there because they were part of my design team project, and I wanted to show you everything that Natasha carries. And this stick pin was just perfect to match this napkin, so I did use that. And then the glittery spots you see on the napkin were created basically in seconds. Very, very simple to do. I just took I keep saying Stickles, but I guess it's not. It's Studio G glitter glue. I got it from Michael's from the dollar bin. And I literally have been using this. I did buy some Wink of Stella from Christine's blog, which is Every Picture Has a Story to Tell. So I will link to that for for you to look at her goodies as well. But I bought this from Michael's and I love it. And what I basically did was I just took this and I just went over the parts that I wanted to stand out. Like that, and just kind of it just kind of raises it up. Like I'm really doing it right now. And just let it dry right now. Of course, it's still wet, and it really added like a raised look to the flowers, as you can tell. So after this dries, this will be a pin cushion, and it'll be ready to go. And I hope you enjoyed this project. Let me know if you have any questions. I will link to Natasha's channel, Natasha's store. Thank you, Natasha, for letting me design for you. Oh, you know what? One thing did I mention this trim? Yeah, this trim is from Natasha's store too. I think I mentioned everything I used, I hope. Anyway, oh, and this little bird is also from her store. See, I knew I'd forget something. And this little goodie right there. So thank you for stopping by and watching my long video. I didn't mean to go for, this long. It's just that I like to share what I do and how I do it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for all my subscribers, existing and new, for coming to my channel. and encouraging me and supporting me. God bless everyone. Thank you. Bye.